Hello and welcome back to another game of Dota 2. This is game number 4 of day number 1 of StarLadder Star Series Season 8. And we've got ourselves a game between the Retry, which we've already seen earlier today, and they will be going up against aSpera, who'll be on the Radiant side, and who we will see after this game once again up against Mouse Sports. Unfortunately, first of all, for this match, I will not have a co-caster. Even though I kind of think that he would have been forgotten anyways, because this game was started so fast. And apparently the teams are in a hurry too, because the draft was very fast. And we only have now that aSpera is using bonus time for a very long time before banning out that Pugna. But, yeah, that is gonna be the deal, so no co-caster. And by the way, one thing I want to still remind you of, as I'm sure that a lot of people will appreciate that I'm still reminding you of it, is that even though today Beyond the Summit might not be casting, it is only because they are still on their way back home from MLG. They will be casting every game of StarLadder starting tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about that. Of course, also you can find all the games here for the entire season. It is up to you to decide which one you will be wanting to watch. Because it's all for your viewing pleasure, your choice, your game, and of course, support StarLadder and thereby support the teams. Because if you get yourself a ticket to this tournament, which is by the way $10, you always also support the teams with it by getting extra gold into that prize pool. $2.5 of every ticket sold goes into the prize pool. So definitely make sure you support that, because that should be worth it. On top of that, you get a neat Weaver set that actually evolves over time if you watch more games, of which there are, by the way, a lot. StarLadder is one of the more rewarding tickets to get, because there's games every day. We have 30 play days. This is only play day number 1, and there will actually be breaks for the major LAN events, so you don't have to worry about that, about missing things that are overlapping. For example, there will not be any StarLadder games during DreamHack, so you can rest easy. And yeah, so make sure you check that out if you want to. Of course, you can always just only watch on stream, which is gonna be nice as well. Anyways, let's take a look at what people have here, as we have got the Retry on the dire side. They've banned out a couple of supports at first with the Venomancer and Visage banned out. They picked up the Lich and the Viper and the Bane, so 2 supports secured, with the Viper being the solo mid, a strong one at that, and one that's okay-ish up against a Timbersaw later on, so we'll see if he gets a chance to be doing that. Weaver and Lifestealer banned out for the Retry as well. On the side of aSpera, they ban out the OD and the Clockwork, 2 strong soloers. The Abaddon and the Pugna banned out as well. As the Elder Titan and Crystal Main gets picked up, as we saw a stat in the one of the previous games, we're actually still at a stats man. The win rate with that combination, Elder Titan, Crystal Maiden, is 74%. That's insane. Of course, the aura of Crystal Maiden allows that Elder Titan to spam out his spirit, which definitely helps him in the laning stage. Let's see if it has an effect here on this game as well. Timbersaw and Marana picked up by aSpera as well, as I'm sure that everybody is going to be fairly happy that they will see the Marana in action once again. Let's see if they are able to kind of live up to the expectations that I now have of Marana players in professional gaming, but we'll see. Windrunner gets picked up by the Retry. We've seen Windrunner a couple times, including on support roles, and I'm expecting her to not be a support role this game, because, well, if she is, she could actually dual lane with the Lich on the bottom lane, or just have Lich solo lane and have Windrunner as support. Wouldn't be too bad either, but I like to see Windrunner in a bit of a more core role, so we'll see if I get my Witch, but Windrunner off lane is just as good. Especially if she's supported by a Lich, and then Bane can have a dual lane on the top lane with someone else if they want to. aSpera will be, and the next up, they will be allowed to ban out a hero. And they will be doing that within 50 seconds, because they have still got that in their bonus time. By the way, when this game started, I mean, I said, like, the draft was really fast up until the first 2 picks. And then the Retry started to think about their draft, and then aSpera, and look at where we are now. I feel like by the time that I was done talking, they should be having the draft done already, but nope. Nope, they are not having the draft done already. And I'm just checking to see if a remake would be needed or not, considering there is once again a co-caster missing for one of the German casters, so we'll see if that's going to be the case. So far though, we will just be having ourselves a good game of Dota. It is the bounty hunter that gets removed, so it looks like aSpera has decided that it's gonna be a Windrunner, maybe mid, Viper on the carry role, and then the bounty hunter removed. It's interesting, because, I mean, I was really expecting to still have a strong carry pick by the retry for PGG, who still hasn't got a hero just yet, who is playing the carry role in the retry. They ban out a Doom themselves as the Storm Spirit gets picked up straight away after that from aSpera. And I mean, you shouldn't be surprised by that, as that is, I mean, Sharfik plays a beast Storm Spirit. Although I have to say, last time we saw aSpera play, it wasn't actually Sharfik that played the Storm Spirit, but I'm hoping that that's going to be the case still here, because he plays a beast one, and Puck picked up afterwards that, I mean, there's no surprise that that happened, because they need to have some form of way to silence the Storm Spirit. But the thing about Sharfik's Storm Spirit is that even, like, the thing that, in my opinion, makes him a beast on that, I mean, it's a signature hero for a reason, obviously, he's great at that hero, but even if he has a not so good mid lane, which sometimes happens, I mean, you know, it happens to everybody to not have a solid mid lane, but even if that happens, he somehow, and in my book, that is the most impressive thing. He's somehow able to find the possibilities, find the opportunities to get back into the game and still have a very big impact on the game, even though he is not ahead in the mid lane. I'm really hoping that he can do that as well. Of course, for his sake, I'm hoping that he doesn't have to try to work from behind once he is done with the laning stage. Of course, he needs to be also able to have a decent mid game. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'll try to not fanboy that too much. We have got ourselves a retry. They will be playing from the Dire side with Cliff. Oh, they just swapped. I was wondering what happened there. This is interesting, actually, because previous game we saw our men play a support. Looks like they switched roles here, with Cliff playing the Lich. He will be joining PGG, who will be trying to go for some nice shackles, and they will be dual laning this on the bottom lane, as mentioned. In the middle lane, we've got ourselves aSpera once again. This time he'll be playing a Puck. And on the top lane, it will be Eid or EDE or Edward playing the Bane, moving towards the top lane and joining our man, who is indeed playing the Viper in a semi-carry role, or in a carry role, I can safely say, as he will be by himself on the safe lane. So a dual lane scenario here for the retry, as I'm sure that's going to be a good one for running up against aSpera on this one, because it looks like aSpera is trying the same thing. They actually don't have Sharfik on the Storm again. I'm slightly disappointed. But Warrior Storm Spirit is more of a... What? Yes, Warrior Storm Spirit is more of a... Warrior is the carry player. He used to play carry for the Swedish team that he was in. Skånes Elite, I believe. Or he was in Kada. But this is looking to be like also a farming Storm here on the bottom lane. He will be supported by Blah Blah Fu on his Elder Titan. So that's their dual lane right there. Then on the middle lane, there will be Sharfik. He'll be playing the Timbersaw this game, so shamefully for me, no Storm Spirit for him, but definitely a decent hero for him as well. Inquisitor, not on the offlane this time, as he often plays offlanes for his team, but he'll be playing the Crystal Maiden in this one. We'll see where he's gonna go. He could just try to go for some jungle creeps, because he's not really needed on this bottom lane. There's not really that much he can do. Not with that Lich just denying creeps 24/7, so we'll see. Double damage room for PGG should be allowing him to get some more harassment in, so we'll see how this bottom lane fares. And of course the last one, by the way, last but not least, it is the new player for aSpera. It is Ket4KM playing the Mirana here on the suicide lane, so that's why we see Inquisitor switching roles. And we'll see how he does there, as I believe for me this is the first time that I see him in action. And that is his Twitter handle, by the way. If you want to check him out, then you can. Well, the mid lane is going to be the one that I'm most curious about. They, of course, made sure that they didn't put the... Well, I say of course, but they made sure that they didn't put the Storm Spirit up against the Puck, even though, you know, again, I'm a bit sorry for that. But Sharfik, though, should have a very good time up against this Puck, because... I mean, there's just nothing really that aSpera can do to harass him. Not when he has got that level 1 and reactive armor picked up. And with I mean aSpera, he really needs some supports if he wants to try and harass Sharfik away from here. So this is a very decent lane for Sharfik. aSpera shouldn't be too much harassed either. He might be having some denies go in the way of Sharfik, but overall, he should still be having at least decent levels and decent farm as well. So we'll see who comes out ahead there later on, who gets the first kill, as that might be the one thing that turns the tides. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, Lich is still around there, as we have got a Viper very low here, courtesy of Mirana's arrows. But the Lich actually moves all the way back to the Night Creeps there to make sure he gets and solo experience, and make sure that there's not going to be any denied experience going the way of aSpera, which is a pretty decent thing to do. Not just to give him extra levels to allow him to harass a bit more viciously, as he is almost level 3 now already with Elder Titan, compared to him still level 1. It's very scary right there. Wall Eater still level 2 as well, but also will allow PGG to get some extra solo experience on the lane. I really like the way of Cliff doing that, who is, by the way, a stand-in here for the Retry, apparently not an official player. I do like the Enfeeble on Mirana coming out from Eid. Mirana overall is already a hero that early on in the game doesn't have that high attack damage. So try to last hit with only 20 damage left. Makes for those 4 last hits all the more impressive. But at least she is getting the experience still. She's level 3 and almost level 4 already ahead compared to the heroes that she is up against in that top lane. 14 for 5 here on aZen in the middle lane. Sharvik 11 for 4. So aZen actually slightly getting ahead here compared to the Timbersaw, who actually picked up level 2 in Timber Chain, which is not a build that you often see in the middle lane. Going for Timber Chain that heavily, because there's like mid lane is the lane with least trees around. Perhaps that is the reason that he wants to have that level 2, just so he does have an escape. Otherwise, level 1 Timber Chain doesn't really do anything at all, because the trees will be too far away for him to reach them in time if he should get ganked, which at the moment hasn't happened just yet. And even if it does happen, Sharvik is actually quite protected against ganks, because he's got a ward up the high ground right there. And on top of that, he's got a ward right here as well. So ganks, unless they're smoked, of course, will be scouted out. So far, we might actually have Lich trying to make something happen. Lich is almost level 4. He just wanted to get his boots, apparently, with the Inquisitor forcing him back. And the Spirit harassing them back as well. Crystal Maiden. Oh, I love this build. I really do. Oh, wait a second. Mirana will be able to live through it. Maybe with the haste rune, Sharvik can make the first blood happen though. Up in E. Yes, he does. The Timber Chain does it. Maybe he can get himself Armen as well. With that haste rune, he has got another Timber Chain again. Oh, that doesn't hit Armen though, and he will be only left with just 1 kill. Great rotation coming in from him, and with that haste rune, he'll make himself go back to mid very fast. And in the meantime, the mid lane is not even wasted, because the Inquisitor came around to take the experience away, to make sure that that is not wasted experience being left in the middle lane. PGG rotating as well. Doesn't have a shackle shot just yet, but does have a level 2 power shot. Perhaps he can make something happen here with the help of the puck, but they don't have any lockdown, and I feel like without lockdown, you're not going to be able to take down Sharvik, and they realize that, especially also since that ward is there, so they did see him coming. And Lalafu just forcing him to win right away. Well, rotation a bit pointless. Does leave Lich on the bottom lane alone, getting himself some extra levels, who, by the way, at this point, not the highest level in the game, but definitely the highest level for his team. One of the higher levels for his team, I should say, because aZen is also level 5, and as is the Viper. It is still the Timbersaw that is highest, though. Because of that kill that he got, he is level 6. And only now does aZen catch up and get himself that extra level as well. Wall Eater in some trouble. Power shot doesn't kill him just yet. Can he get himself away? One more hit needed. The Timber Chain. Oh my god! Sharvik gets himself a double kill. And it is Wall Eater that lives. Timbersaw to save the day. Nobody to die on the side of aSpera just yet. It is 3-0 Sharvik, proving that Storm Spirit is not the only hero that he can shine on. Definitely not. Heroes with that kind of movement are just heroes that he has a knack for, apparently. Mirana level 5 almost has that Moonlight Shadow, in which case I'm expecting even some more plays. In comes a Dream Coil. aZen with the first rotation, leap away towards the low ground, and he lives for the moment, though. It might still be changing, because aZen, oh, he doesn't have an orb. Nope. Sharvik comes in as well. Gets a salve. Arrow comes in just in case someone wanted to chase that, but nobody does. Again, another save. Sharvik wasn't even involved in the save. In the meantime, bottom lane, it is Lich that goes down. Storm Spirit with the kill. PGG, they want to follow afterwards. Massacres all over the place, and it's already ownage, and we're only 6.5 minutes into the game. It is 5-0. Wall Eater, now with 1k gold in his pocket, will pick himself up his treads. From this point onward, aSpera, well, there's two things they have to do. They have to watch out that they don't have sharfik die, because if he does, he will be giving away killing spree. Oh, actually, he won't, because he got an assist only for one of those kills. So he won't still be giving up a killing spree, because that's going to be the one thing that they have to watch out for more. Once they reach those sprees, once they get those bounties built up on them, they have to just be wary that they don't give those away to PGG or anybody else actually that's trying to get the farm ready up on the side of the retry. But if, apart from that, they have got a very strong grip on this game, I'd say. Armen's still the highest farmed hero on the map though, on the side of the retry even. And he is building towards a fast mechanism. Now if he has that one complete, they might be able to make some more plays. And of course also one of the items to watch out for is aSin finding his blink dagger, which at the moment is going to be quite a long way away, as he's only sitting on 927 gold. But it's still something that could change if he picks up a bounty of some sort, if sharfik gets himself a bounty here, because that's the one that he was looking for. He's looking for a kill up on an Armen, who will get frostbitten, killed off, the arrow actually to finish it off for Mirana, the Starstorm even, everything thrown up on him. No killing spree just yet, but it's 6-0, and aSpera proving to be a tricky opponent here for the retry, that's for sure. Very much for sure. aSin 34 to 9. Moonlight Shadow. Mirana still gets picked off though. That's actually the J Froster and Cliff helping out there. That's the first kill that the retry get. They used Lich Ultimate for that one. Definitely worth it though. Definitely worth it. Don't get me wrong. Mirana is the first one to fall. 6 to 1. But this rotation, sharfik, Dream Coil, he will be picked up here. Timber Chain away, but the Dream Coil tick is still there. The double damage rune from aSin helping out. That's gonna be the second kill. They have to, and with I mean aSpera, they have to keep their cool here. But it seems like they kind of lost it. The retry making a bit of a comeback here, as Wall Eater is getting a bit harassed here by PGG. PGG, who hasn't really left his lane yet, or not that much anyways. He of course made some rotations, but he is now level 5. He's got his face boots. Farm-wise, he is not really doing all too well, though. I mean, imagine he is the one to try and take the farm here on this bottom lane, and his net worth is lower than that of the Crystal Maiden, who's the lowest on the side of aSpera. I mean, that's not really somewhere where you want to be if you are a Wind Ranger at this point that is trying to take the farm. Bloodlafu got himself some mana boots. Got 3 assists to his name. Only got 7 last hits, but looking pretty solid. As he's still higher in net worth compared to PGG. They go on PGG, though. The Vortex should be here as well. The Wind Run. There goes the Ball Lightning just to get that Wind Run in. But in comes aSin looking for something. Doesn't have a Dream Coil. Does have a Silence and an Orb. Shackle slows him down. But in comes sharfik. The Frostbite is still there. PGG is still the one to fall. aSin now tries to get himself out, but he won't be able to do so. Will get picked up with one more hit. Storm Spirit to take the kill. It is 2-0. Nobody dies on the side of aSpera. The dive on the retry, once again, not proven to be successful, not taking into account all the movements from aSpera, and also definitely not taking into account the teleport scrolls in the hands of sharfik, who is not afraid to rotate if his teammate is in danger. Maybe with all those rotations, the retry can make something happen on the top lane, though, where Armen is still trying to farm up towards his mechanism. But they won't get a tower just yet. I mean, that is still very far away. PGG, not able to help out either. Level 5 still, which is the lowest level in the game. Even Lich is higher level. Lich that was on the same lane, but because he went back every time to get that sacrifice experience for himself, Lich is actually sitting on level 8, which is the second highest level in his team. That's a support list for you. But, yeah, definitely kind of painful for PGG at this point, because, I mean, it's not bad. I mean, the shackles will still be there, but it's only level 1 shackle. Leap away, we'll dodge the Viper Strike. Fiend's Grip there up on sharfik, though, but he's standing in the chakram. He goes down, especially with that arrow coming out from Mirana, helping out, interrupting the Fiend's Grip. Lich Ultimate still going through. It will not bounce around, but it will pick up sharfik. TP's coming in with the Moonlight Shadow up. Our men will get picked up. Wall Eater with a long jump. Doesn't get shackled. Doesn't have enough mana to jump after PGG though. Maybe the arrow. Nope, the arrow doesn't reach PGG either. With those phase boots, he is fast enough to get himself away from the top lane for the moment. aSpera, middle lane, still not having his Blink Dagger. Well, we're 12 minutes into this game, and you know, it would have been a slow Blink Dagger already. But it's starting to get even slower. You know that he tries to find that farm, and of course he's very close, so he doesn't want to risk going into fights at this point. I don't blame him for that, but
Radiant's middle tower
still,
is under attack.
now we'll see how fast he gets it and what kind of impact it will have once he has that. As it looks like this storm might actually be like I was expecting him to go for a fast Orchid. As he goes for our men, Vortex is there, Sharpix is there as well. aSpera jumps himself in the shackle, the Dream Coil. They might be able to get a Wall Eater. They do get Wall Eater, but they lose their Viper for it. And aSpera gets himself away. A 1-for-1 trade, which in this case favors the retry because that Storm Spirit just has a way bigger impact than the Viper at this point. Even though the Viper highest on farm, fair enough. But yeah, that's gonna be a good pickup for the retry. They need to find these kind of kills. They need to get that gold up on the Paku. Now finally has the Blink Dagger being brought to him in his... What the hell?
Radiant's
In his Hollow Jack.
is under attack.
I haven't seen that one yet. Looks like a pet in World of Warcraft. Oh well. Arrows. Oh, it's up on aSpera. Will they go in on it? The Earth Splitter comes in, but they won't jump themselves into it. Just harassment as Aramen tries to force people back. Starstorm does still hit up on Aramen, but he uses his mechanism. Keeps himself up. Fails to keep PGG up, though, who gets killed off by the Timber Saw. And aSpera still hanging around mid with 4 heroes. Looking for those arrows, looking for taking down a tier 1 tower. In the meantime, they still have a free farming Storm Spirit who looks to make a push on the top tier 1 tower. So far, all towers in the game are still standing. Arrow, our man, picked up just like that. Could have dodged it, didn't dodge it. Nighttime, of course, does make it more difficult to dodge as Blah Blah Fu gets himself out. Blink forward, aSpera, Dream Coil, that's gonna be a kill. Moonlight Shadow not helping in time. Perhaps they can go in on something with that Moonlight Shadow though, but it doesn't look like it. Everybody backing off apart from Inquisitor. Sharpik going for his Bloodstone, of course. Looking pretty solid after he even after he died twice actually. Highest on net worth is still Wall Eater though, who gets Fiend's Grip. That's gonna be a kill right there. Lich ultimate coming out. With Elder Titan getting picked up still as well by that puck. Oh no, that was already dead. Never mind. What was I saying? We saw that happen. It's just the Storm Spirit that gets picked up top, who now no longer is highest on the net worth. It's now the Mirana, but they are in a close battle with the Viper as well as the Timber Saw. So very even on that chart there on the top. It's not lonely at the top at the moment, that's for sure. And both teams fighting to get an edge over this game. Even though the kill score is in favor of aSpera, it is still anyone's game. They're just looking for that advantage, for that extra map control that they need to try and actually grab the game. Right now they have a bit of a hold on it, but they're still, like both of them have. They just want to pull until one of them lets go. Let's see if a tier 1 tower could help them with that. Tier 1 goes the way of Sharpik, so extra gold for the Timber Saw. In the meantime, on the bottom lane, aSpera might be trying to make a go here on the Mirana. PGG there as well, looking for Shackle. No, now Dream Coil, now Shackle, now Mirana dead. Can't leap away, will get picked off by the puck. Bit of an awkward power shot still coming out from PGG, but nonetheless, getting a kill was the right thing to do. A Wall Eater though from the trio line. PGG will maybe saved. Indeed, he'd come in with the Nightmare. And now if Storm still wants to have a kill, he has to jump real far, and that's too risky right there. So PGG will live this time. So far, of course, PGG is not having a very fun game. He has died 4 times. He's only got 4 assists. Actually, he has got 4 assists out of the 7 kills that are there. That is pretty decent, after all. Sharpik has been involved in 11 out of the 13 kills, by the way, which is quite insane. Tier 1 tower. Second one to go down. As Wall-Eater tries to get himself away from this bottom lane. Moonlight Shadow will help. The Fiend's Grip not enough to take down Wall-Eater. Oh, the blink! And the Waning Rift. aSen gets himself a kill, realizing what could happen. As this sentry ward won't count out that observer ward, which is a bit of a shame, but oh well. Oh, top lane. They go for our man. The chakram comes in. Earth Splitter will miss, but might... Nope. Doesn't hit on any of the TPing targets. PGG looking for Shackle. Maybe he can find it up on the Inquisitor. Nope. Doesn't find it just yet. Mechanism puts everybody back up to full. Courier walks back. Crystal Maiden still walking back as well. In the meantime, it might be the Mirana that's in trouble. Gets silenced up. Gets chased down. aSen has a Dream Coil in store for him as well. The leap away. It's not enough. The orb. The kill. aSen dominating this puck, who had a pretty difficult lane early on. Or at least in terms of getting his rotations together. He's been able to get so many kills right now. And he is just on a dominating streak, as you just saw. Our man still struggling, 1 for 4 for 1. He was the one that was doing best of all early on in the game, but it doesn't show anymore. As on net worth, he's now on par with that puck. Safe lane farmer, but apparently not so safe that he can actually farm. Wall-Eater, still going for his Lincoln Sphere. Interesting that he actually does build a Lincoln Sphere. I was kind of wondering what he was going for, because often we see at this point Bloodstones up on Stormspade. Just go for straight Bloodstone. It's a bit of the Eternal Envy build, if you will. But go for a Lincoln's, just pretending or defending himself from Shackles, from Lich Ultimates, which is pretty decent actually, and from Viper Strikes, of course, is going to be the way to go for him. And of course, the one thing that can hold him in place that game, well actually there's two, but I'm talking about Fiend's Grip. Arrow will hit on the creep that PGG actually still takes, so that's quite decent. And that's the first denied tower. On the retry still though, so all outer towers, all tier 1 towers on the side of the retry have been picked up.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm not sure what Puck said thank you for, but he does. Maybe he thanks me. As while this pause, I will actually drink slightly a bit of water. As, you know, you can get yourself some quiet for your ears as well. You know, enjoy the calm. Well, did you enjoy that? I hope you did. I certainly did. Water is good. Water is sparkling as we have Mirana. I'm not sure if I agree with the Hand of Midas, but well, she can afford it. In this game, I mean, they're in no real rush to end this game. Now neither of the sides have got this very big hard carry that would make them win the game. But definitely late game with that Elder Titan. With the Storm Spirit there, I would favor aSpera slightly. Timbersaw, of course, Mirana, who can turn into more of a carry than the Viper, I feel like. Yeah, they have definitely a bit more favorable lineup. It's not far apart, but yeah. The retry, who is not going for any Hand of Midases, by the way, so not really... Oh, actually, Lich Hand of Midas. Never mind. Supports with Hand of Midases, shouldn't be surprised to see that one. Lich has been doing really well for himself. In terms of net worth, he's still very far behind, but in terms of levels, he's just on par with the rest of the crew, apart from the Puck, who's just been getting big kills with a lot of experience given to him. But yeah, Lich is even doing better than his safe lane Viper.
Radiant's middle tower.
And I wouldn't want to call that bad for the Viper at all. I mean, Lich is one of those heroes that will consistently get experience and can just, you know, ramp ahead that way. But it's definitely not good for the Viper to be only level 10. Or we are a bit of an impasse. I mean, that Puck makes sure that aSpera keeps their distance. They have to know exactly if they're gonna go in, they have to know exactly what they're running into. They do try to get some more control, as they have got some observer wards on the in the dire jungle, and of course also they're here in the mid lane still, but not really anything that they can scout out the retry with right now. And actually the retry have smoked up Eid and Cliff hanging behind aSen, looking for a potential gank up on aSen, or at least hoping for a gank up on aSen so they can counter gank. But what they don't know is that there is actually a smoke up for aSpera, who if they find them, they would outnumber them. And actually, they're going into the dire jungle. They might find PGG and our men here, and they do. In comes the... Oh, is that actually what I think it is? I think it is. It is a Rod of Athos by the looks of it. PGG will be able to run himself away. Windrun helping out. Who has a Rod of Athos? There we go. Timbersaw with a Rod of Athos. No Bloodstone for him. I love that pickup. I really do. It is so good. 1600 range, I believe. It doesn't show. But it is, I believe it's 1600. It is insane range on that Rod of Athos. From that Timbersaw. Can I actually see it if I hover? No, I can't. Never mind. Biggest range, slow, 60% slow. It's just pretty crazy. I am quite happy for PGG to make it out of that alive though, because after all, it was a 4-man smoke, and aSpera only got 1 kill off the back of it, which is a kill that, you know, on a Viper, they already had shot the Viper down, so it doesn't really mean as much as if they would also get that Windrunner with there as well. The Retry grouping up as 5-0 in the middle lane. Might be looking to make a go up on Sharfik as PGG. Goes for some harassment. Might be looking for a Shackle. Won't be finding it just yet though. But his Shackle is maxed out right now. So if he finds one and he ledges it, that will be the one to go in on. In the meantime, Arana is not in the fight in mid at all. She is just farming top. Pushing the lane now. 2200 gold now in her inventory. And they are looking to fight top. Fiend's Grip up on Sharfik. There also comes the Viper Strike. Down they go, down the Timbersaw go. The Dream Coil slightly overkill for Mason as it did not hit anything. Timbersaw was already dead at that point. But Mirana not forced back from top means that she can lay down some harassment on the tower. Earthsplitter still comes through. Will hit on a couple of people here. Nicely done with the stomp as well. They might be able to get Asen, but the mechanism comes out. The tower, there is still fortification. They will use it, and they'll try to at least deny the tower. Asen teleports back to base. Doesn't want to be in the fight. The tower will get denied. Punched by an Elder Titan that has 186 extra damage to his name. And of course you can deny a tower easily then. Nicely done. That was the first tower to go down on the side of aSpera. And it was a deny. In the meantime, Arana wasn't able to get the tier 2 top. Though she doesn't have enough damage for that just yet. But she was able to bring it down fairly low. So next time the Retry tries to go for something like that, she will be able to get that tower down. $7,500 experience in favor of aSpera. Gold graph though, or I'm the other way around. 7,500 gold in favor of aSpera, but the experience graph fairly even. And aSpera does have a tower advantage, so once the Retry starts taking some towers, some of that gold deficit will be moving back into favor of the Retry. But regardless of gold, I'm actually thinking that most of all, because of, for example, the Hand of Midas of Murano, who even if she would have got items instead of that Hand of Midas, would be needing more than your regular carry. In terms of gold, to be able to do the same. Invisibility rune. Hello, PGG. Starstorm. Arrow. Oh, missed! Oh, leap away! Well, that's an invisibility rune not really coming to its
bottom tower is under attack.
To its justice. Well, that happened. Oh, still a bloodstone for Sharfik. There we go. After all. But yeah, I mean, overall, the gold graph doesn't mean as much as the experience graph at this point, or just as the way the game feels, because even the experience graph doesn't really matter that much as the control that the teams think they have. And they think they have a lot of control over Sharfik. Fiend's Grip is there. Do they have enough damage though with that reactive armor? In comes Wally. Their Moonlight Shadow will help Sharfik out as well, but the dust comes out. He will be picked up still unless he Timber takes himself away. He does! It is PGG that gets picked up instead, as well as the Bane. That is going to be one lucky Timbersaw, or can we say it was skill, not luck. Azen might be thinking about making a ballsy move here, but he would be jumping into his death if he does do that. And, you know, he doesn't want to die. Not today anyways. Wall Eater. Can he find him? He's got himself in Ball Lightning. No vision. Vision only reached thus far. I mean, they have only that ward right there. That's the only observer ward right now that aSpera actually has on. I can't believe Timbersaw actually lived through that. Very nicely done. Fiend's Grip wasted. Moonlight Shadow didn't really help out that much, but yeah, Wall Eater jump in. That was the major game changer. As Wall Eater has got himself the Lincoln Sphere. He's also got himself 3,100 gold. As Cat for Kiam has got himself a Yasha picked up, and still 2k to boot. They're starting to get their core items on. This is starting to get dangerous. And actually, they go for the Lich, who already gets killed off. Looking for the Bane, who's dead as well. Windrunner tries to go for Shackle, doesn't get it. Forces people back with the power shot. In comes a Viper strike still. But Viper can't really do that much apart from slowing people down. And he's actually maybe in a bit of a trouble. The Earth Slitter comes out. Will hit upon 2. PGG. Arrow will fly upon Puck. PGG will go down as well. That is a double kill from the Starstorm from this Marana. Vortex up on Cliff. That is overall a kill, a team wipe. Maybe if they get our men as well, they will indeed get a team wipe. But the only person left alive is PGG, who just popped back. And he is going to be trying to windrun himself to safety, but no such luck. That's going to be couple dead and then some, because not only did PGG buy back, but also the Lich bought back. So that is 7 dead in the middle lane overall, and nobody actually got a rampage, which is, you know, a miracle. But they nicely split out the kills, and with all those heroes back, with all those heroes having a longer death timer than normally, they would be able to pick up indeed a tier 3, and perhaps even more as a spectator pauses. Well, that's what happens, even though there weren't that many spectators in this game. Tower goes down. Crystal Maiden with her amazing right-click damage takes the glass, hit up the tower. This is a rich Crystal Maiden, by the way. Oh, aSpera. Can't wait to see them going up against Mouse, because that would be, of course, our next game so far. I mean, this game is not over just yet. But it is going to be an uphill battle from this point onward, as Bane already gets picked up. Our men just overextension from their point. Perhaps they can get themselves a kill up on the Puck as well. aSpera in the Chakram still is able to interrupt the oh, the Dream Girl takes the mechanism. It's Puck that dies. Inquisitor lives. Close. The GG comes out. aSpera calls it. PGG will get killed off still before he is able to get away. Still will disconnect before he died. I guess that's a small comfort. But the GG goes the way of aSpera. That means that they win their first game here in StarLadder Star Series Season 8 Day 1 Game 4. And we will see them trying to take their second game as well, of course, as they will be up against Mouse Sports in their next matchup in StarLadder Star Series. I just already said it, so I'm not gonna repeat myself again. Anyways, we are actually with this game that only lasted 26 minutes, slightly decently on schedule again. The next game official starting time is in about 7 minutes, so we might have a bit of a break, which will be a good thing, because that gives me time to get a co-caster, so the co-caster can actually pace myself, or pace me rather, to you know, not ramble on about things that you don't even want to know, or things that you already know, and or things that are already said like a zillion times before. Anyways, let's jump ourselves out of this game into the next StarLadder. We'll be back with more in just a moment.